The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment, strategy of service, or any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in the show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor. Oh, we are so excited about our next guest. This is Mr. Neil Leiman. He is the president and CEO of Leiman and Associates. He specializes in wealth exposed by taxes due to poor planning. So this situation for him is, it's never too late. You've got to be proactive. You've got to do things for your future so that you know what's expected today, what's expected tomorrow, and what's expected in the future. And, there are so many opportunities for great planning, great professionals. There's a professional for everything. And those professionals are out there to help you. And if you have questions for Neil at the end of this, please write them down and send them to questions@elisabethwithanS.Dawson.com. You're in for a real treat. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. This is Elisabeth Dawson, and you're listening to our show, Ways to Love Your Money. And we have a wonderful guest here with us today. His name is Neil Leiman, and just a great personal friend of mine. And he's an amazing tax professional here in San Diego. I can't wait for you to meet him and also to kind of hear some things that maybe you should be considering in your financial life. So, Neil, thank you so much for being on the show today.
It's great to be here.
Good. Well, I know you've been in the tax planning business for a very long time. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Originally, when I got a degree in accounting and a master's in finance, what we don't know is where we're going to wind up.
Okay.
Either you go into public or you go into private accounting.
Okay.
I opted to go into private first. For the first 15 or 18 years, I was in private.
Okay.
Then moved out to San Diego just slightly over 40 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And realized I think I would be better suited for tax preparation and tax planning, et cetera, et cetera. Got my licensing, everything done. And so since 1989, for the next 2 years, between 1989 and 1991, I bought parts of 3 practices.
Okay.
Which is pretty common when somebody retires or somebody wants to get out. So I bought 3 parts. And I've been pretty successful.
Yes.
Happily so. And it's been built up quite a bit.
Yes.
I also started teaching in 1984 at National University.
Okay.
And I was there for nearly 30 years.
Wow.
Teaching accounting and tax. Now we're a full-service tax prep firm, tax planning. We also incorporate people.
Okay.
Because a lot of sole proprietors don't know it, and their
Yes.
accountants sometimes don't tell them that they
Sure.
should be incorporated.
I've seen that.
Both for tax purposes and for liability purposes.
Yes.
So we've incorporated in excess of 1,500 companies.
That's amazing.
Since 1984 as well. So
Wow, that's amazing.
it's been a pretty good ride.
So how many total years in the industry?
Well, tax since probably 84,
Okay.
full-time since 1989 tax season.
Okay.
So since
And you've brought your
1990.
daughter into the business too.
Correct, and my
Miss
wife's
Amanda.
helping a little bit.
Yes, Gail is a wonderful lady.
What I found was that, that I'm not the greatest detail person. I'm a more conceptual person. So I need people around me to do the details while I'm doing more of the tax planning, et cetera, et cetera.
I see. So you're the creative mind.
I think I am.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully, I think a lot of people think I am.
Yes.
But,
But everybody has their talent,
They do,
and I
yeah.
surround myself with a lot of people that have more talent than I do, especially even about this show.
Well, I know your office. You have a great office.
Thank you.
But my wife was a school teacher, and when you're a school teacher, you're very organized.
Sure.
And she brought some organization in. I mean, I'm a business consultant.
Yes.
I can tell you how to manage your business. Don't have me manage it. I'm the worst manager in the world.
Oh, no.
But I can tell you how to manage your business.
Right. And you can tell
That's-
people how to save money on their taxes, too.
That's what we're doing right now. As a
Yes.
matter of fact, there's only a couple of weeks left, but I know the show is taped.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, Elisabeth, you asked me a question about what can we talk about in substance.
Sure.
Well, it's a perfect timing for your people out there to look at your finances for 2018. You really can't do a lot of make a lot of changes.
Right. We got to think about 2019.
See a financial planner like you, and which I've done 3 years ago. I mean, I said I know tax, but I was really disorganized with my retirement, and I'm pushing 70.
Yes.
I might not look like it, but I'm pushing
No,
70.
you don't look it.
But put 2 kids through college, paid for 3 weddings for 2 daughters,
Yes.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
And after
And
a
you've
while,
got some beautiful grandbabies now too.
and suddenly you look, and suddenly you're in your 60s, and I really didn't plan for it. So made some mistakes with some other financial planners, which I think you met one. I'm not going to mention any names,
Okay,
but
good.
you put us on the right path.
Oh, well,
I am
thank
so
you.
pleased, my wife and I. It takes the acknowledgement that I'm not doing something right here. And just like you need your tax preparation and tax planning from a CPA,
Right.
myself, or an enrolled agent, you need planning for your finances.
Right.
And that's where you come in, Elizabeth.
Well, thank you. And we do talk about the importance of having a good relationship with your finances, with your money, and not to, so many people have so much anxiety over money and what it can do. And I think
Right.
sometimes life experience has had either a hindrance or it's also had an impact on what you want to make sure that you have things protected for your future. I know that in the event of a health event, making sure that all your assets aren't just completely evaporated in
Right.
front of you. Being prepared for that, because you can do something proactively now. If you wait until the event happens, we can't do too much about it. It's kind of like tax planning. There's a professional for everything. And in tax planning, it's really being prepared for the taxes that you're having to deal with going into the new year. But once the end of the year hits, you can't do much about it.
No, you really can't.
No, and I think that you have a world of knowledge to give people. I have seen you work with other business owners as well, in the respect of making sure that they're designed in a proper way and a proper design, so that
Thank you.
they're minimizing taxes, but they're also being mindful about it. But then taking the next step to say you need a professional in your life to be able to help everything else out. And that's key. I've talked to people over the years about late stage college planning. And late stage college planning is the majority of people out there today. Some people saved along the way, but some people didn't.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know how I.
But you did
paid
it.
for-
You
we-
got them
we-
through it.
Yeah, with no debt.
Yes, that's amazing.
Which is a good thing.
I think that's a big point to bring up,
Yeah.
is that we don't want debt in our life to
Right.
hold us back from all the prosperity that we can create and really take care of our families.
True.
So debt is probably one of our necessary evils sometimes, but if we don't let it control us, I think we'll be much more happy about it. And again, what would you give as advice to your daughters or to your grandchildren about how they begin a relationship with money? How do you think that they would be able to glean a better future for themselves with a respect for money?
Well, my 2 daughters are in totally different situations.
Sure.
My older daughter married a pretty wealthy fella.
Okay.
And they live in Marina Del Rey, so, she shops all day.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe not the best financial
I really
plan, right?
can't tell her anything what
Yes.
to do with the money. But, my daughter who works in my office,
Yes.
it's time.
Yes.
Because she's, I think, 37 or 38. And
Okay.
other than some life insurance and some other things, there really hasn't been any plan yet. So I am I'm using my influence, if I have any on her, to mosey on over to your office. Let me mention something about Elizabeth's office, like my office. What people say is, our office is like Christmas sometimes. There's food out there, there's coffee, there's nice lights, there's pictures up. You don't feel intimidated
That's
by
good.
going to our office, and people almost love it because I am a storyteller too.
Yes.
And people like that.
Yes.
It's not the greatest thing to come and do your taxes because some of them have tax problems, they have tax issues. I understand that. And, it's like going to a doctor's office. You
Sure.
might get bad news, you might get good news, But like your office, it's so festive, it's so positive that you don't feel intimidated.
Oh, well, thank you.
And most people say
Thank
that
you.
about our office, and we're very proud of that.
I believe they do say that about your office. You have a wonderful environment when you come into your office.
Well, it wasn't me, it was everybody else who
Yes.
did that. I just sit in
Yes.
the desk. As I said, I just do the tax planning and
Yeah.
tax preparation. I don't do anything else.
So all those years ago, when you came into the tax planning world, what motivated you to come into this industry?
Well, I took a tax class actually when I came out to San Diego. So, when you have an accounting degree, you've taken some tax classes, but not a lot.
Okay.
And then I also taught at Palomar College for a while, back in 1978.
Okay.
and I was teaching a tax class.
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about tax.
Wow.
So I had to stay one chapter ahead of my students.
Uh-huh.
And that was a long
That's
time. That was
amazing.
40 years ago.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
So that taught me the basics, and then of course from there, I did take the CPA exam and I passed. So I had some knowledge of tax, but I really had to improve my game. And when I bought the first practice in 1989 for the 1989 tax year, I really had to learn corporation taxes, partnership, LLCs. And I was, so I had to almost go back to school myself, and I did it. And, you know, tax theory doesn't change all that much from year to year.
Okay.
2018 has been a big change.
Big change.
Huge.
What are you doing to adapt?
Well, what I do is, you know, we had a great tax program that as soon as I did the 2017 returns, I had a tax program already built in for the 2018 tax changes.
Wow.
So I would run the 2017, and suddenly I had the 2018 right in front of me. So I can tell my clients, if everything is exactly the same, or roughly the same,
Yes.
this is what your tax liability would be
That's great.
in 2018.
That's great.
That helped people.
Yes.
Some of them didn't have to make as many you know, estimates.
Sure.
You know, in April, June, September, and January, when people make the ES estimates.
Okay.
And some, and even AMT went away.
Yes.
Alternative minimum tax that you know about, for people who made in the 200,000 to 300,000 range, not over that.
Yes.
That tax was specifically for that. That went away in 2018 as well.
That's a nice thing.
That's a good
nice
thing. Actually, most of the tax changes for 2018, including the QBI, which is the qualified business income deduction,
Yes.
for all pass-throughs, the straight 21% for C corps.
Okay.
It's been a good thing.
Yes.
It really has.
It is.
It's exciting.
I know there's lots of questions for people, and I know that they have them for you too.
Well, I map it out. I have my little yellow pad in front of
Yes.
me, and we go through it, and most of the time, if it's good news, they're happy when they leave.
Yes. So to round
Yeah.
out the show here, we always want to have the conversation about how people can actually have a better relationship with money. And if there was a call to action that you would tell people to do today while they're thinking about this, they might be busy with their busy lives. Everyone's busy, but are they
Good point.
productive busy? Are they successful busy?
Correct.
Are they really taking the same amount of time to grade themselves when it comes to their finances? And,
Most
and
don't.
really, yes,
Most
I would agree. And so would you say a call to action is to don't wait, don't procrastinate?
Well, they come to see me either it's at the beginning of tax season
Yes.
or the end of tax season.
Yes.
What's missing is people to see you,
Yes.
because everybody does their taxes, but I don't know what percentage. You probably know how many people out there actually see good, you know, financial planners in general. Maybe it's 1/20th.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that just want to do it themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just trying to
And
figure it
they
out. I call
can't.
it DIY life. And
They can't.
DIY life doesn't necessarily solve the problems.
I'm
they
an
don't
example
look at
of
the whole
that.
ground. You know, you've got to look at the whole, you know, financial decision viewpoint. And
Well, the market went down, what, 500 points today?
Oh yeah.
And it's actually it's lower in 2018 so far than it was a year ago. So,
Yes.
I mean, if you just plop your money in the market and have no other plans.
Yes.
And remember, financial plans also, like you taught us, is it's insurance, it's long-term care, it's what you want when you retire. These goals
It's
can
a
be
strategy to sell your business.
exactly right.
Strategy to sell your house.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
all the things that you want to do.
I'm not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
So we have a young staff now.
Yes.
Who will take on when I'm trying to play some golf, maybe.
There
Maybe
you
I'll
go.
learn.
Well, there's a fun fact about you, and I know that when I asked you this question, you didn't answer it the way I thought you were going to, but you are a movie buff.
I am.
You love your movies.
I am.
You love your cars.
I do.
So, out of all the movies you've ever seen, do you have one favorite?
You know, it's a funny movie that wasn't very popular when it came out in 1946, was It's a Wonderful Life,
Yes.
which was now a Christmas movie, but it
Yes.
was not.
Yes.
Because it has some dark areas
It does
in
have
there.
some dark
It was a
areas in
Frank Capra movie. It was the first movie for after World War II for Jimmy Stewart.
Uh-huh.
It's wonderful about life, the fact that all of us have some value in life, especially if you have friends. And I know you do, and I have some good friends.
Oh, thank you. Now, let's talk about cars real quick.
Okay.
What's one of your favorite cars? I know you have a few, so this might be a hard question for you to
The
answer.
favorite car that I had
Yes.
was a 1982 Mercedes-Benz diesel.
Okay.
It was the short deck sedan called the 123 sedan.
Okay.
Had the car for about 200,000 miles.
Wow.
That was a great car.
Yes. Yes.
It was a diesel, and it was a 5-cylinder diesel.
Uh-huh.
Wish I had that car back.
Oh my! Well, that's
A lot
I
of
think
them still
something
on
that
the
we
road.
share a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You have a diesel.
I have a diesel too.
I like it.
Mercedes
I
diesel
like
too.
it.
So, but I know you like those classic cars too. So that's
I do.
That's
I like
something
all
I know
old
that you
cars.
share with
I
your
watch movies
grandson.
to see if there's a mistake in the movie.
Do you really?
So if a movie was from like 1970,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to see a car from 1974. I'll pick it out right away.
That's great.
I'll pick it out right away.
Watch out, critics. You know?
Correct.
Watch out, movie producers.
What do you call that? An anachronism.
Yes.
I think
okay.
you call it an anachronism.
Yes. Well, I loved having you on the show today. Thank you so much.
I'd like to come back.
Yes, I'd love to have you back.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Elizabeth.
So your call to action today would be: do not be a professional procrastinator. Do not be just a DIYer. Do it yourself. There's a lot of things we can do ourselves, but there's so much more that we can get out of there from valuable advice from a real fiduciary, real investment advisor, real financial planner out there, and really get your information so that and you can actually create better situations, better suggestions, better advice for your future and the future that you want to design. So again, thank you for listening to Ways to Love Your Money. We're so glad that you did, and we're so grateful that we had Neil here on the show. We can't wait to have him back in the future, and we'll talk about some more fun facts with him in the future too. So we hope that you'll stay tuned and continue to watch our future shows. Wow, what a great interview we just had with Neil Leiman from Leiman and Associates. I hope that you got some great information out of this. We've had a great collaborative relationship with him for so many years, and he's just a joy to hear from and really hear his story. And the truth is it's never too late. It's never a bad thing to ask for help. It's never a bad thing to ask for professional advice. We all need it. Your tax professional is so powerful, but your financial professional is even more powerful. And when they work together and they work in continuity with one another, it's a beautiful, beautiful outcome. We didn't talk so much about estate planning, but estate planning is such a big piece of this too, and having that attorney involved. So as time goes on, your call to action should be: do I have my finances in order today? Are they in order for tomorrow? Are they in order for next year? Are they in order for when I retire? Are they in order for college? Are they in order for, a wedding, or maybe an unexpected wedding that you didn't think about? Are they in order for your grandchildren? Because now is the time that you can really take a step back and say, I'm humble about the situation. I know that there's an anxiety over money, but at the same time, I know I need help. When you can actually admit that you need a little help to make your successes happen for the future, that's the power that you want to glean for your success, for your financial and professional and just experiential success to come. So take that as a call to action for yourself. Get a copy of the book, Wealth by Design. We'd love for you to have a copy of it. You can get it at ElisabethWithAnSDawson.com, and we'd love to hear your feedback about it. Let us know. Let us know your questions. So stay tuned for more shows to come, and we hope to have you back here soon.